Train here, and welcome to Magic the Gathering card opening. I think that makes sense, right? So essentially, how Magic the Gathering works is if I go here to this deck. What you do with the deck is you use these cards to make a really strong fighting thing. So you got these mana here, which are pretty cool. So you get the mana, and then you get cards that use that mana because that one would cost 5. As there's 2 red. This is a mountain, it is red, and then 3 of any. This creature, if you read what it has, it's flying, and then it has some additional features, like abilities, that kind of more or less change the rules of the game. So every card has their own thing, like this one, casting spells gives it a +1/+1, which makes so it has 1 additional attack and 1 additional defense. So the one on the left is attack, and the one on the right is health. It does not continue over or anything, but yes. So I got a lot of these, so I'm gonna open them and see what happens. That was Magic the Gathering Arena works, where there is wild cards which you can use to help make your own deck any kind you want. So, which is Cottage enters battlefield, and then there's all these other things that are pretty cool. And then legendary ones, which this one allows you to get a rare card. It also to go back to decks. I'll just press new deck or something. I go here, I go bring this up to the rarity, and now you get a list of really rare cards, which you can use that one wild card to use. And as you see, there's not a lot of them as they are considered rare. So this is Throne of Eldraine, which is the current oldest one in the circulation. Enters the battlefield with +1/+1 counter on it. That one's pretty good. And then this one is Giant Killer. So it's a small man who can murder a giant, or just be a small man. Either or. Final one of this. Lots of cards, lots of land. So these land are different than other land, as they are special because they have ability. Most land does not have an ability. This one, however, has Dwarven Mines enters the battlefield, tapped unless you control 3 or more other mountains. When Dwarven Mine enters the battlefield and tapped, create a 1/1 dwarf token. So the thing to the right is a dwarf token. Okay, and now another rare wild card, which I'm getting for a lot of reasons. So listen to that. Really suspenseful. Theros, Beyond Death. It opens, and we get a lot of these. Creatures you control get +X/+X until end of turn, where X is your devotion to green. If you want to know what anything is, you just read to the right of the card and it says, Devotion to green. Each green in the mana cost of permanents you control counts towards your devotion to green. So this card, really good, although really expensive. This thing, it's Arachnophobia, so I'm going to get that off the screen as soon as possible. And yeah, let's look at this one. This one can be blocked by enchantment creatures, or enchanted creatures. I butchered that. There is a deck that has lots of creatures that are enchanted. That's an enchantment that is also a creature at the same time, even though it is just a lionfish, which are highly poisonous. Would not eat. Okay, now we got this one. So we got this one, which is, it loses, when it dies, exile target card from opponent's graveyard. This one is I think that is really rare or something. I don't know what silver means. Hey, game, what does your silver mean? Uncommon, I believe that would be. Okay. Oh no, to leave the thing. Gosh darn. Alright, we'll open this last one, and we got a few cards here. So I will play a match at the end of this, one that I already made, so it's just convenient. So all these cards will be constantly saved to all your all the cards they have overall, which is helpful if you want to do some, I don't know, but you can read all this. When it enters the battlefield, each opponent loses X life or X their devotion to black. That one is really strong, because since devotion to black is the mana cost of permanents you control, or devotion to black, it can be strong. So if I'm going to go over to this deck, look at my creatures, like that one, Has Death Touch, instantly kills anything it hits. We have that one, so that'd be 3. With one of those and one of those, it'd be 3. So that'd just do instant 3 damage, and this is just a deck based off rats, so. Yup. Ikora, Lair of Behemoths. That one right there, Mythic Rare Wildcard, that will give you a special unit called a Planeswalker. So, I'm going to check this one. Whenever you cast another spell as Flash, Flash makes it so you can cast that at any point, which is like the other card called an instant, right here, which means you can cast it on your opponent's turn as well. So, whenever you cast another spell that has Flash, you draw a card and each opponent loses 1 life. Cool. That sounds like Assassin's Creed. I like that a lot. It's still going. They put a lot of time into like the quick like hover over kids' music. It has a drop to it? Okay, that song is great. Alright, there you go. Alright, so now I got this one, like Divine Arrow. Deals 4 damage to target attacking or blocking creature. So this game is based off a real-world game called Magic the Gathering. Wait, how do you get a dinosaur that is also simultaneously a hippo? I guess that's how. Alright, so this card is called a Companion, which is a new thing that's really confusing. But it has to reach the certain requirements for it to be in your, like, for it to be available to play instantly. So, if your starting hand contains only cards with converted mana cost 3 or greater, and land cards, is what it requires for it to exist. Then when it enters the battlefield, draw a card for each other permanent you control with converted mana cost 3 or greater. So, yeah. Let's slice that one open. Here we go. Got a Wolverine. Nothing too cool. This one makes it so that they cannot attack anything. Like, it's a giant creature that's looking at a butterfly, which is there. Mythos of Vadruk, Vadruk, I don't know. Does 5 damage divided as you choose among any number of target creatures or planeswalkers. If blank was spent to cast a spell until your next turn, those permanents can attack or block, and the activated abilities cannot be activated. So, abilities are like, where, I don't think this one has, oh, there you go, Cycling. Wait, no, it's not an activated ability. We got some, why is it so, like, scary now? Core 2021 is like, they grab the best cards from the year. Then they put it into this one, so. Now, let me see. Any one of these have an activated ability I can speak about? No. But if a source would deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals triple that damage to the permanent or player instead. Okay, cool. Any activated abilities here? Oh, there it is. So, if you spend that after, if you spend the 1 in the little water symbol, after casting this creature, which is giant, its ability is discard Walker of Waves, look at the top cards, 2 cards of the library, put 1 of them in your hand, other in the graveyard. So graveyard is like when things are dead. Library is your is like your deck, and then your hand is what you have in your hand. So, what the heck? Choose the card name other than basic land card name. Search target's opponent graveyard, hand, and library for any number of cards with that name and exile them. That player shuffles their library, then creates a 2/2 black zombie creature token for each card exiled this way. So, let's say I get this in the deck where I have lots of those rats. I can cast that spell, exile them for my own, because it's never mind, it's an opponent's only. So, yeah, they're gonna get zombies when you exile a creature, which could be helpful as lots of creatures come back from the grave. Now we're going to go to Zendikar Rising, which sounds really epic. But essentially what it is, it's the newest one so far in the series of cards. Like, we got all these, like that one flying, pretty cool. And we have that elemental, which creates a 0/1 green plant creature token for each basic land you control. That's really good, because that's just a lot of defensive creatures. Alright, so we have these ones. We got that mythic rare wild card. So, new thing, there's like clerics, warriors, rogues, and other things. They create something called a party, which is used to get like special buffs with other cards. Pretty sure there's not. Oh yeah, the spell costs 1 less for each creature in your party. So party is a cleric, rogue, warrior, or wizard creature that you have. So that's a cleric, that's a wizard, that's a warrior, and this is all a new thing that was added to Zendikar Rising. Probably messed that pronunciation up, but oh well. How is that Oh, I see. So it can be that one, the left one, or the right one, which is why it's worth so much, because having a dual-purpose land is pretty good. It's like it's a rare, which is pretty good. Okay. Now I'm gonna get this one. Open. Switch top, pop it out. Add 1 mana of any color. Add blank. This spell only to Crassinance and a sorcery spell. There's scry 3. Destroy target tapped creature. Rare wild card. Cool. Let me get another one of these. Can I target spell? Cool. Alright, this spell costs X less to cast, where X is the total amount of non-combat damage dealt. So non-combat damage would be damage that is dealt by spells. Is there any spell in here that would do that? No. Let me go check here. I think the goblin may have. Alright, non-combat damage. That's non-combat damage. So, when the Alcor Blood Priest enters the battlefield, each opponent loses X life, and you gain X life. What is happening? What did I just do? I broke something. Oh. Really good. And then final one. Mitgore. So these are really cool. I have no more money. Costs 1,000 to get something. But let me just go to a standard ranked match. Let me get Yeet as my deck of choice, and let me show you how to actually play the game. How to play the game. So, yeah, enter. I'm versing some random players, so I could actually lose this very easily. Okay, so how this deck works is I have this one which drops that off at their base when he does damage, and it does lots of damage to them perpetually. That one makes it so that one can't be attacked. That one's just fast, instant out of the battlefield. So, how haste works is it makes it so that they don't have summoning sickness, which is something that occurs whenever you summon a creature, they can't attack that turn, or use any tap-based abilities. So they're first. I'd like it if they actually played the game, though, because sometimes people's best strategy is not doing anything at all, and then you more or less just win. Ah, yes. How are you doing? You're doing fine? Pretty nice. I'm gonna wait till they do their turn. Okay, they placed a land. A really good land. Oh, I am worried. They're gonna get some really good cards before if I don't kill them quick enough. Because I saw a deck like this just a bit ago, which it had so many lands that were like this and had like several types, but it was like only a one-color deck. Well, they had one card that had so many abilities that I can just do to counteract everything that I do, so yeah. That one is above the air as it is flying. Alright, so this one, instant. So if I attack, they would block with that and they would die. If they don't block, then, yeah. But in inordinate range, that makes it so this creature gets +3 strength, +2 defense. So now, I do 4 damage, which is a good sum. Alright. They're probably going to try to kill it. Yep. Destroy target creature with converted mana cost. Let me read, please. Mana costs less than or equal to the number of cards in the controller's graveyard. That is also a worrisome thing. So I'm gonna place that one down. It's not gonna go immediately, but this one happens whenever I cast any spell that is not a creature, like this enchantment here. It does really, it helps a lot. No, the another one of those. Oh, I don't like that. Ooh, that's a strong creature. I'm gonna cast Raid Bombardment, which is an enchantment, therefore that one gets buffed. And, I'm going to attack, because that one is too strong to be let exist. So if they block good, I want them to. Now I destroyed their biggest threat on the battlefield, playing 4-dimensional chess, you know, just casually. Oh, they have another one. Well, I have another one of these, so, you know. Alright, let me get the Tunneler. And I'm gonna get the Yeet. So Yeet is really good. You see, I'm not gonna use attack with it yet, because this creature needs the ability to tap it, so then it cannot be blocked, because if they block with that one, this creature dies. So that's not good. That creature also has lightning. Alright. They killed that creature. Fair. They have flying, and I have nothing that is flying as of now. Oh, they got rid of the Trash Master, which is really powerful. I'm not sure how I'm gonna win this, but I can try. I have another one of those. Now the person is freaking out. Never mind, they had that spell. You can only have up to 4 spells in your deck, so they probably have one more of those. This enchantment, whenever a creature with 2 or less attacks, it does 1 damage automatically to them, so that is a thing. Okay, I'm a die in 3 turns if I don't get my flying creature, or a board wipe, or a destroy spell, which are in my deck. I'm just not getting them, so it does appear that I'm about to lose this. So that happens when there is a legendary creature. And that also means that I am not looking too good. Never does damage to a player. Each player discards cards. Each player loses 1 life. And draws a card. Each player sacrifices a creature. Well, it does appear that I have lost. Unless they don't attack. In case I win, then. Yep. That's not good. I exploded. So I lost. Okay. And, why don't I try a different deck now? Move here, let me go to, Rats. Because this one has a lot of kill cards. I showed it off earlier, so it would make sense. And, I'm gonna play it now. So this one is based around, well, Rats, as that is the name of the deck that I named it. Also has some of these. So this deck only needs, like, 3 mana to function well. Pretty cool. If I cast that one, people don't really want to kill it, as it also does some damage to them, and also I gain life. So, pretty good. Pretty good. When you cast that down, gotta throw that down. Really spooky noise that was. Okay. Also, interactable terrain. Pretty cool. Oh. I'm gonna throw down this thing, because whenever an opponent's creature dies, it gets a +1/+1 counter. The counters last forever, until they're like removed or the creature dies. So yeah. Whenever another cleric enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life. Whenever you gain life for the first time each turn, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Oh, that's not strong enough. Okay. I thought to do like compound fracture, and I couldn't. I'm gonna cast Village Rites. Sacrifice that creature. It takes 2 damage. I'm gonna get that, and I'll also get 2 cards. So here's some flying. Oh, and it's bonus I can just bring it back from the dead, which is pretty cool. If they attack, which they're probably not going to, as it's a really important part of their deck, I'm gonna guess, I can block with that Death Touch Rat and instantly kill it. Ooh. Ooh, okay. That one right there is a Saga, so it does 3 things over the duration of 3 turns. Alright. I'm gonna cast that, and this. Okay. I'm gonna keep that back as defensive, because they're not gonna attack when they have that available. And if I attack, they're probably not gonna block anyway, so we're gonna block with their wall now. Okay. I do have the board. Oh, never mind, they got it as well. Opponent loses life this turn, put +1/+1 counter on him. So we're currently at something called an impasse. Until I kill that creature. Now I have the advantage, and then, no, I could just buff that creature even more. Or I'm gonna double up on that one. It's now its lifelink, and then whenever it does something, it gets extra life, which is great. So whenever another opponent creature decides, now I'm going to get 2 of its counters, so it's going to be like a 4/4 whenever that creature dies, which is great, helpful. And then I can block that one with it, or I'm just going to wait off on that, because I have the board right now. As I have the only flying creature currently, so I can deal constant damage. And since this one has lifelink, I can gain constant life. So this is a real person, so they are taking some time. They have these hourglasses in the corner. If they use them all, then it just skips them entirely, and if they lose them all twice in a row, they forfeit automatically. So, yeah. Really shiny gem. I'm gonna just click it a lot. Okay. I'm just trying to figure out a thing to do while I wait. Oh! So use the timeout. It is work. This is great. I like this a lot. What if I expose both of them? It does not appear. New Caves and Cliffs update looking kinda cool. Okay, so this one is really strong. It's like a weird pan flute in the background. Okay. Whenever a creature in opponent controls, I whenever a creature. So, yeah, we're winning right now. If they skip their self again, then they're not going to be able to do anything. They lose automatically, which is going to give us a win, which, sure, I'll take it. Although I'd like an actual battle to happen instead of just taking a win. So, yeah. There is no, like, perfect deck, as there's always a deck counter to it. And if there is a deck with no counters, they do remove that capability of doing that. So, every deck has its weakness, every deck has its strength. Kind of just depends on what you're going against. What is that? Enters the battlefield with the 4 task counters on it. Each creature can attack or block. It loses all of its abilities. Tap, remove a task counter from He loads recruitment. Then when it has none, activate the ability. When it has none, then destroy it. Cool. I have some spare rats available. Alright, so I'm gonna send that one. Exactly what I thought was gonna happen. But I still have 1 damage on them, so I'm gonna win in 15 turns. Unless the opponent has... They cannot attack or block unless me has 8 or more cards in my graveyard. I have 3 cards in my graveyard, so... unlikely. I'll continue breaking down on that curse. Send that out. If they attack, cool. You can attack with that one. But I'm pretty sure I got them locked currently, because they can't really do anything. So, enter the battlefield, choose a color. Creature control choosing color, get +1/+0. Add 1 mana after choosing color. They're going to get lots of life. That creature's going to become really strong. Conveniently, though, I have a Nightmare now. So this one is my high-level ability that is really strong. So it's my high-level spell. Then its power and toughness are equal to the amount of swamps I have. Also, it flies. So overall, just devastating to the opponent. Still not going to block on that. Okay. And I have enough life to go on for a while, so even if they hit me with all of them, they only hit me with 8 damage so far, so I'm fine. Unless they get some ridiculous buff that's gonna give them all the way +1/+1, and at least one's -1/-1. Which is a card, and I dislike it very much, but it is there. Alright, so Bending Air Step. If an opponent lost life this turn, put +1/+1 counter on it. Cool. Turn card, creature card, from something to something. Alright, I'm about to break that curse. Wait, is that carrying the earth? This made me lose 2 cards. Okay. Well, I'm gonna do that. And I'm going to attack with this one, and that one, because I have this thing which is going to give it a quick little buff, and if it fails, then I can still, you know, do more things, damage. Expected that, which is why I have Unexpected Fangs, which is an instant, so that creature's going to get buffed real quick, as soon as they pass after the blockers. So now I do that, cast that, it's now a 2/3, kills them, stays alive. That creature died, that one gets 2 pluses, and that one gets 1. I haven't gotten the main, like, rat part of the deck, where I have a card that makes these things have menace, and also summons them. And, creatures, they get -2/-2 until end of turn. That is what you'd call a bit of a board wipe for decks like this. And they removed both the rats that I had available. And now they have that one open for combat. And it's not looking too hot. Okay. But what are they going to do? Because they have 8 life left. And I have a good sum of creatures left. Destroy target creature with no counters on it. Get destroyed. Attack with that one, that one, that one. This should theoretically do a good sum of damage, and hopefully it'll get me through them. They're gonna die, maybe. They can kill this one right here with that one. But I do believe I'm gonna win. So, unless they pull something that's gonna destroy a big thing. Alright, they have 2 life left. And I have the board because I have that flying creature. So if they can't get flying up in 1 turn, they lose. But they can, because they have that one. Yep. Okay, they're going to cast that. 2/1. They're probably going to do that just to block me. and then next turn I'll hit them. Most likely, what they return? They return that one. Well, I disagree with you. I'm gonna murder. I do that at the perfect time. And now I attack with my flying creature and win. Alright, so with that game, I'm going to have to say... Oh, I can't press GG. RPG Penguin out.